So in this video, let us see uh, how the content should be. So how to identify the audience. So most of the new YouTube creators usually use the classic spaghetti approach. That means to make the content. What does it mean? Spaghetti approach means they throw it against a wall and see what sticks. This might work if you want your pasta just right, but it does not work for successful YouTube content. You can't upload content willy nilly and cross your fingers that everyone will watch it. You have to get tactical to figure out what works with a precise audience. Your audience consists of the individual viewer, which we sometimes call the avatar, or the representation of the actual person on the other side. I use these terms interchangeably throughout this video because yes, understanding the avatar is the most important thing you can do. It doesn't matter if you are using video to grow an audience or to tell something. You have to know who your audience is before you worry about the audience, though you must focus on your content. If you are not making good content in a niche you are passionate about, your channel will fail. Plain and simple. Do something you care about and make good content. Period. The audience will follow, and YouTube will follow the audience. I'll show you exactly how to get tactical about it. But remember that you have to start with a commitment to a passion. I have seen plenty of creators who change their content too quickly. They are not giving the content a chance to sit long enough to gather data and make a strategic plan. If you are working with something you care about, you should be willing to put in the time to let the data help you. So always the priority should be the audience. You have to feel that the some other side of the about the other side person who is watching, who is going to watch or who is going to listen to your content. So don't make videos for yourself. Once you land on content foundation you are passionate about, you are ready to pinpoint your specific audience. Here comes a big question I have heard thousands of times. How do I find my audience? It is not a dumb question. In fact, it's the best question to get an answer to if you want to be successful on YouTube. Even creators who are doing well sometimes don't have this question answered, and it's holding back their channel from really taking off. Create content around your passion, but don't do it for that reason alone. Do it for the people who will actually watch your videos. Combining your passion with your ideal audience creates a crossover that works like a charm. The good old when the shows nicely laid, I'm trying to say here. Stay true to what you want your channel to be about, but don't make the video for you. Make it for the audience who cares. If you don't find this crossover between your passion and your audience, your channel will never grow. So it is the intersection between what does my brand channel stand for, what does my audience care about. It should be the combination of both. So we need to find the sweet spot. What is that? Let us see. One of my favorite examples of someone who found their audience is he is professionally a lawyer. He is making YouTube videos to help students prepare some exam in the school. So he found a good audience on his channel, but he wanted his channel to grow. Reached out. So that's how he is putting the combination, helping people think like a lawyer, people who are interested in the law, pop culture. By combining these three things, he is growing his channel. So not all channels are created equal. What does it mean? Not all channels work the same in when you'll see different results based on the type of channel you have. That's why it is so important to know who your love group is before extending them to the mainstream. If you have an educational channel, you should not take what a game channel is doing and copy it exactly, when then wonder why their successful strategy didn't work when you tried it. Content resonates differently with different audiences. Someone who likes to watch gaming videos is going to watch have a specific viewing behavior toward gaming content, and a specific viewing behavior toward, say, a cooking tutorial, and vice versa. There are a bunch of different types of content: how to, best of, vlogs, product reviews, cooking, gaming, music, pranks, kids educational, and the list goes on and on. It should make sense that if your channel is a vlog, that your viewer is going to have different patterns from a how to viewer. Ultimately, people consume content they care about. So figure out who cares about your particular type of content. So be careful to assume though that this means a food viewer is a food viewer on all content about food. For example, you really have to narrow it down beyond a broad category to understand your ideal viewer. In other words, someone who wants to find and follow a recipe doesn't want you to add your commentary, personality, and visual creativity. They just want the recipe. Whereas another channel might be perfect for that viewer who does want to be entertained and connected to the person making the food. See how specific you can get. When you can identify who is watching and where and what they enjoy, you have hit the jackpot. Think of a lot of people who watch his content not there for the recipe, they are watching for the entertainment. The food is just another character in his story. It's not what you are going to make for dinner tonight. So that is how it plays. The content and the audience plays a very vital role in creating your content and for your YouTube channel success or failure. So keeping in mind the type of kind of audience you need to make the content, and the artificial intelligence needs to know your audience too of the YouTube. When you can get the YouTube algorithms to understand who your viewers are, they will do the work to find other viewers with similar viewing patterns to serve your content too. Remember that YouTube's first goal is to keep the viewer on the platform longer. So if you have honed your content to match a specific viewer, YouTube will help your content be seen by that viewer who will likely want to watch it. The artificial intelligence puts similar videos together to be recommended with like minded viewers because, while it works, the faster you can make content to fit in all collection and a collection of videos that will be batched together, the faster it gets pushed in recommendations and discovered by the right viewers. To stand out among them, though, use strategies to get high watch time and AVD. I truly believe there is an audience for anything you could possibly want to do on YouTube. So, artificial intelligence of the YouTube also needs to know your audience in order to help you to grow your channel. So, not just yourself uh, should know about your audience, also your YouTube artificial intelligence also should know who are your audience in order to recommend, in order to make you grow. That's all about the artificial intelligence. And but how do I learn about my audience? This is what the big question. Let us see how. This might sound crazy or impossible, but I like to figure out who my audience is before I figure out my niche. That's how important finding the right viewers is. Don't get ahead of yourself with creating content, because if you do it right, your viewers' behavior will change your content. This is where we could talk about the whole cart before the horse analogy. People often create content fast without fully understanding who they are creating for, which is a great recipe for frustration. I like great recipes, but not this one. Learn who you are creating for. Your content will be naturally consumed and shared and won't lead to frustration. So take a step back and get to know your audience first. The persona breakdown. In order to accomplish this, I do some educated guessing before I have the data I need. I call it a persona breakdown. A persona is your viewer, your avatar, your target audience. You want to get to know that person as well as you can. This is tricky to do right out of the gate, but you can make assumptions until you have the idea, you have the data to help you. So let us see how the persona breakdown works. So based on demographics, based on psychographics, and based on offline behavior, online behavior, these four things will majorly affect the uh, viewership. So we can categorize all the viewers based on these four: online behavior, offline behavior, psychographics, demographics. Take a look at our personal. If you want to get to know your viewers so you can make content they will watch, you have to know things about them demographically, psychologically, I mean psychographically, and behaviorally, both online offline. I go through this breakdown twice, once for a male viewer and once for a female viewer. Gender wise also we need to just look at twice. First, demographics. Think about age and gender before anything else. Then consider income range, education, location, relationship status, and children status of your viewers. Don't you think it would be helpful to know if your audience is a single male majority between the age of 25 to 30? If they are girls, Gen Z, middle class. I know some creators who assumed they were making content for teenage girls, but when they had a live event, the overwhelming majority of attendees were actually 8 to 9 years old. This fact surprised them, but they changed their content to really cater to that younger audience, and their channel performed exponentially better. So after demographics, look at your viewers psychographics. Demographics are external traits or facts about a person, while psychographics are their internal traits. Psychographics break down a person's beliefs, values, attitudes, motivators, lifestyle choice, fears, and vulnerabilities. It's what drive them. It's their goals and aspirations. It's what they are passionate about. Demographics are the boring facts. Psychographics are where it gets fun because you get to find out who your viewer really is. They are no longer a number, they are a person. You can now connect to them on a level you could not do otherwise. A great example of seeing a person behind the number is when a celebrity connects with a fan one on one. You have seen the videos. One of my great thing. So after looking at demographics and psychographics, you might have a pretty good guess about who your viewer is. But none of that matters if you don't know what they actually do. You have to know how they act out their daily life, both in the real world and online. YouTube's algorithm can't think about your viewers' psychographics like you can, but what it can do really well is observe your viewers' online behavior. In fact, it sees data we can't see as humans. Even with more than 2 billion active logged in viewers, it can still watch every viewer to know their behaviors. Specifically, the artificial intelligence watches what a viewer does and doesn't do when they click on a video. It observes what a viewer searches, clicks on, doesn't click on, watches for 5 seconds and leaves, watches for the duration of the video, clicks on the next, and so on. The artificial intelligence connects the unstructured data and similarities between viewers. So let us see your viewer lives in micro moments. You need to know even more about your viewers minute by minute daily behaviors, though these are what Google calls micro moments. Google put together an excellent guide on how people interact with online content and how it affects their real life. The gist is that people always have their mobile device near them. They check it 150 times a day, and the majority of them time spent on it is made up in something, go somewhere, do something, or buy something. A brand needs to be there to answer any of these queries quickly because the opportunity to put connect in front of them in a usual way will only last a moment. Here is a quick example of each type of micro moment. The I want to know moment. You hope online you hop online and do a search for a random fact. This happens a lot in everyday conversations. A question comes up and somebody says Google it. So you hop online to get the answer and hop off. The I want to go moment. Probably the most common one here is something like the find Italian restaurants near me type search. You want to go somewhere nearby for something specific. The I want to do moment. You need to change the air filter in your vehicle. So you search how to do that on YouTube. So next thing is the I want to buy moment. Your toaster friend itself this morning and you need a new one ordered today. You are ready to buy. So based on this, here micro moments. These are the 5 micro moments people usually do on internet. So first one, the I want to know moment, I want to go moment, I want to do moment, I want to buy moment. Think about your own mobile habits from day to day. Do you have do you take out your phone to Google something and spend the next 2 hours casually browsing through an entire website? Or do you take out your phone when you have a thought pop up into your head and about something? Click on the first result that looks the most relevant and ascertain within a handful of seconds whether you will stay on that site. When you find what you are looking for, you put the phone away and go back to whatever task you were on. 5 minutes later, you pull out your phone, text your friend, check your social interactions, notifications, and put your phone away. 15 minutes later, the phone comes out again, tells you the closest restaurant with good reviews, and goes back in your packet. At the restaurant, you open your phone to take a picture at lunch. At the restaurant, you take a picture, send it or post it, and put the phone away. We live in micro moments online and offline. So putting the persona breakdown to use. Persona breakdown applies deeply to how you create a content. Know your avatar's details and habits so you can give them exactly what they want. Let's do a persona breakdown with a hypothetical example. So these are my people. We need to know who are your people. So by evaluating our viewer in a persona breakdown, we closely defined what we are assuming the viewer is. Next, we get to do s- our research to either validate or dismiss the assumptions we just made. We will cover how to hone in on your viewer by doing recon and research in the next videos. There are so many different types of people in the world. They who they are and how they behave online and offline depends on how they were raised, their social status, their lifestyle, their personalities, and more. When you make videos in the right way, it's magnet for certain people, type of people who will then consume that content in the same way another viewer with similar traits and interests does. YouTube finds you are like-minded people and gives them your content to continue. There are two ways to look at your avatar when it comes to YouTube. As someone who will view your content and as someone who will share your content or potentially buy something. Some disagree that there are two different personas, but I believe it's a valuable distinction to make when it comes down to who your viewer is and what their intention is with your content. So let us see some action exercise for this. Create your viewer persona breakdown. Breakdown. If you have channel content, check your analytics for your viewer information to complete this task. If you don't have content, you can still do this as a projected persona breakdown until you have data to pull from. Do this twice, once for a male viewer and once for a female viewer. In this task 1, list your viewer persona demographics, age or generation, gender, income range, education, geographical location, and relationship status. Number 2, second task, list your viewer personas psychographics, motivators, values, attitudes, lifestyles, fears, and goals. This is the second task. Let's go see the third task. List your viewer personas, online behavior, types of media consumed, content consumed for personal interest, versus for entertainment, and channels they subscribe to. Number fourth task, list your viewer persona, offline behavior, buying behavior, habits, hobbies, and where they spend their time offline. These are the four things you need to do if you have enough data running on your YouTube channel, so that it will help you to know who are exactly your audience, and it will help you definitely to make the related content who based on their interest and based on their psychographics, demographics, and other offline online behavior. You can grow your channel by putting your coming upcoming content related to those exactly these things and these traits. So that's all for this video. Let us meet in the next video. Thank you.